Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Persona 4 Arena Part 4T. In the previous video we started Elizabeth's storyline and now we're going to jump back into it. What did we do last time? We fought Igus. It's been a little bit since I last recorded because, well, I meant to record this several days ago, record a couple of videos of this, and then I ran into like tech support issues for like 2 hours and like my computer wasn't working or like my monitors weren't displaying. And by the time I finished that, I was pretty much out of recording time, so that's why there was no video yesterday. When like there should have been one going up. Igus crouches down with a regretful expression.
Oh no, I was surprised myself. It's been a while since I fought with all my power.
I close my eyes and reminisce. Just as I had expected, she had grown more powerful than before. Igus is not human. She has an artificial body, making her a sort of mechanical maiden. She was originally created as a tool to accomplish a set goal with established abilities. But by gaining a heart, she forged her own destiny. She did this with a power that can only be gained by those with emotions, the power of bonds. Her nature shifted from one directed by others to one who chooses for herself. She was no longer merely acting, but living. This shift caused a miracle, and she overcame her artificial origins to attain what could be called life. Some have had the talent of turning bonds into great strength by forming a contact through intense desire. We residents of the Velvet Room have heard of this talent as the wild card, and it has at times changed the course of history. Even I, who served as a resident for a long time, only encountered a few with that power. She is one of them.
I now have a wish of my own. Though it may take vast oceans of time for it to come true. Perhaps one day you will accompany me on the same journey.
What do you mean?
If our destinies truly do cross, you will eventually understand.
Yeah. Igus's expression shows that she still does not understand. That is fine, for now.
By the way, how have your friends been?
Huh? Oh, they're all well. Several of them are here right now.
Suddenly a staticky voice echoes from the broken monitor speaking, interrupting our conversation. It seems I was not thorough in my destruction.
Testing. It's finally getting through. Hey, you! The one who's not on the roster! Who are you? Why are you gumming up the works?
It's that bear.
If you keep messing with my Grand Prix, I'll make you...
I snap the fingers of my right hand with a flourish. Oh, poor General Teddy. The speaker explodes. I'm sure that the announcement will bother us no more. It seems I have finally finished it off.
Oh my! Flames have suddenly burst from the speakers. How dreadful!
That was 180% your doing.
180%?
Such repeated meddling. It seems I have a bit of a score to settle with the host too. Well then, I will be going now. Please
Who
be
meddles the meddler?
Oh, wait. There is a rule in this tournament against the loser of a fight moving on.
Is there? Well, considering that I entered myself into the tournament, I do not think you count as a defeated contestant. That is only conjecture, though.
Yeah, can't she just like bust the wall anyway?
You entered yourself. Yet you're going to settle a score with the host for complaining about you?
Huh, details.
I smile cheerfully in return and leave the area. Truly that was one of my better
I
smiles.
cannot believe that even Elizabeth's son came to this world.
I can.
That's it! Her name was Elizabeth's son. I finally remember.
Eventually, I reach the room known as the announcement room. When I approach the door, I sense power from within. It seems the real host is here and not on some monitor. And we got here fast. I haven't encountered that Persona user known as Sensei yet, but thinking about it, I would expect him to win his matches until reaching here. It may be easier to wait than to search aimlessly for him. Upon closer inspection, the door is slightly open. There are people inside.
I sense two. No, 3 people.
I'll just like sneak up to the door and peek inside.
What a shame. You gave it a try, but there's no way anyone would understand you.
Huh? That is that teddy bear imposter. The student council president is here too. It seems the false teddy bear's tone is much harsher than before. Has he been meeting with difficulties lately?
He's just like going through a really hard time right now. When I look again at what's going on inside the room, a sinister aura swirls around General Teddy. A surprising transformation occurs. His silhouette reforms into a shapeless lump, which resolves into the figure of the council president girl.
I am a shadow. The true self.
Goodness, that false teddy bear was actually the girl's shadow. I see. It's true that suffering to this degree could cause a shadow to go berserk and affect its surroundings.
The girl's true appearance has already been exposed. It seems she finally was able to face her original nature. Surprisingly, the enemy forcing the illusion upon her was her other self. I'm glad that she has awakened to her true self, but this is a shocking and drastic turn of events.
At least one of them has to understand how I feel. Isn't that what you thought? The important part is that it's all your fault.
That's not true.
You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go. You want to see close friends fight for their. You want to make.
That ain't true.
It's all right though. You don't. I'll destroy anyone who doesn't.
Please stop. That's all a lie. Finally.
Yeah, we've seen all that. We still don't know who the third person is. I mean, I guess it's main character. Okay, we've seen Bull seen recently. The shadow is going berserk. At this point, it can no longer be stopped solely by the original person. Worse, the shadow has no more reason to keep its host alive, if this continues. But a third person storms onto the scene just as I am about to intervene.
Labrys.
It's a young man in a school uniform. For a moment, I am utterly captivated. Oh god, please, no Maggie Dolans. What powerful fire he has in his eyes. On a second look, I recognize his face from the video. As I recall, his name was Kingpin Yu. No, that's not right. Sister Complex Yu. No, that sounds even further from his actual name. Narakame, that's right, it's Yu
Won't let
Narakame.
you hurt her anymore. If you're gonna keep rampaging, I'll fight you.
Fine. Then you'll be the first to die.
Oh, for once, do we get to sit back and not have to do the Labrys fight? Let somebody else do that shit? The Shadow's attack hurtles towards the young man, but he does not flinch and takes a fighting stance after smoothly evading it. Seeing his heightened determination, I detect a distinct presence about him.
That young man is a persona user too.
Ah, and that's not all. This sensation is similar to when I encountered
His
Igus.
powers be.
There's no doubt about it, it's the same as hers. He too is a persona user whose awakened talent is that of the wild card. The shadow launches its next attack at the young man. The battle axe it brandishes is a cluster of steel as long as she is tall. If he truly can wield those powers, he may be able to stop such an attack, but it is not a sure thing.
His opportunity cannot be missed.
This time I enter the room and step between the two.
What? Pardon me as I interrupt this scene.
Who are you?
You! How? I set up walls so you couldn't pass through. How did you get here?
So you couldn't pass through? What is it referring to? Oh, could it mean those invisible walls I bumped into from time to time? Your nose? It belongs? I suppose thinking back I did run afoul of the things along the way. But a little push was all it took to pass through them, so I barely paid them any heed.
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
The shadow and the young man both look quite perplexed. Was what I said so shocking? I take the opportunity to step towards the young man and look him straight into the face.
Ah. Are you perhaps the sensei that Teddy Bear spoke of? Someone who has awakened to the power of the wild card through Velvet Room's guidance.
What? Wait, that blue outfit. Who are you?
I flashed him a smile and turned my gaze towards the girl collapsed nearby. I believe he called her Labrys a moment ago.
I see. I feel that I have a good grasp on the situation now.
Then can't you tell you're in the way? Get out of here!
I cannot do that. I came to settle some business I had with you, the tournament's host.
What business?
Okay, maybe we don't have to fight Labrys after all.
To be blunt. What business was it?
How the hell should I know?
That was harsh.
It turns out that I do not care about such trifling details after all. My apologies. Please forget my mention of business. Actually, my search for a certain individual has unexpectedly concluded, so we're done here.
Who said we're done? That's it! I'll kill you where you stand!
I wouldn't recommend it. If I may be so boastful, it would be a battle you stand no chance of winning.
I mean, she's not wrong.
What?
My words must have been so humiliating that the Shadow's face flushes red and it gropes for words. I ignore it in order to speak to the young man.
Nice meeting you, by the way. I am Elizabeth. Would it ring a bell if I mentioned that I am the one who governs power?
You mean like Margaret?
Oh,
Yeah, but
do
she's,
you
like,
know my
better.
older sister? I see, no wonder.
Margaret, kinda boring, Elizabeth, pretty pog.
Stop ignoring me, bitch!
I shield the young man behind me and turn towards the Shadow.
Please wait a moment. I must ask the one over there to leave this place before we resume.
It's you who's going to leave!
I was sure that I gave the proper warnings earlier. So it goes. Your fate is in the cards.
Okay. Away we go.
Finally.
Alright, how do we play this game?
Warren, you're
Okay, that is not it.
my attack's nothing. Here is a freezing. It's time to
Into the
be
book.
judged. The lever. Mine. My taste has heard. Pardon me. My turn. It's nothing. You are seeing. Mine. What?
Oh, you were so totally in the book.
For a moment.
Don't even front.
Persona. Here. It's nothing. My attack. It's time to be judged. Death.
Everyone goes into the book.
My attack. Now down. It's nothing.
You must die in the book. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules.
Devil. The time
You must die in the book.
judged. The tower.
Okay, that doesn't actually do damage. This just is like an ailment.
How could it end like this? It's all completely ruined.
The Shadow falls to its knees, its will completely drained. I doubt it has strength left to attack us.
Is me?
The girl, still unable to stand, stares blankly at her own shadow. I turn around towards the young man. This P1 Grand Prix was most likely caused by the girl's shadow manifesting her suppressed anguish. But this young man tried to reach out to her, even at the risk of his own safety. And even after seeing proof that she was the one who caused that risk.
Excuse me, but may I leave the rest of this to you? I'm ashamed to say so, but delicate persuasion is not my forte.
I understand. I agree that you don't seem like you'd be too good at it.
Damn. Fucking roasted. The young man walks towards Labrys, who is still at a loss for words. I have yet to have a proper conversation with him, but I sense a certain trustworthiness in his strong steps.
Miss President, or actually Labrys.
What am I supposed to do? What difference does it make if I accept this? In the end, no one's gonna understand me anyway, right?
It's true that others won't be able to easily understand your pain. But are you gonna give up after just one try at showing them? one victory or loss doesn't matter. What matters is that you don't give up. That's what I think.
I shouldn't give up?
No, you can do this. You're not alone anymore.
Labrys's eyes widen as if just realizing the brightness of the scenery before her. The young man waits patiently for his words to sink in. After some time, Labrys finally stands up and looks towards me.
Is this what you were talking about before?
I am also not human, but who you are is for you to decide. That is the power of potential that everyone holds. Even for a machine, I believe that still holds true.
You could have just said so when we first met.
Very true. I do like the what was it? The you are who you are is for you to decide. I feel like that's the line they should have used during like Naoto's storyline instead of the line about your true nature. I feel like that's a much more fitting line for her character and like what she represents.
Alas, I have always had some difficulty making myself understood.
Come on now. You should go to her.
Labrys faces her shadow once more at the urging of the young man. Well, it turns out we got to see these things again, but we watched them last time. I kind of didn't really know how Elizabeth's was going to work. Now, based on the fact that we're kind of flying through the main part of the storyline, I'm guessing things will maybe start to diverge soonish. But like, I didn't really expect Elizabeth to just kind of follow along with the main plot.
Yeah, you did well.
I mean, I wasn't really sure. I was like, I could see it being kind of like Labrys's, which is like its own thing, or it kind of following along and then diverging, which is what it seems like we're gonna do, because
Thanks.
we've only been at this for like an hour, and we're already pretty much done with the main plot, almost.
There's no need to thank us. It was all you.
Seeing Labrys smile, I can't help but grin as well. But her relief only lasts for a moment before the strength drains from her body and she stumbles.
Labrys!
The young man hastily catches her.
There's no need to worry. She must have reached the limits of her stamina.
He prompts the unconscious Labrys down against a
The
wall.
strength that binds hearts together. No matter how many times I witness it, its beauty never fades. May I borrow some of your time?
You're gonna get put in the book, dude. The young man looks over his shoulder in surprise, but when our gazes cross, he turns as if
Are
understanding.
you a resident of the Velvet Room too?
Well, in a way, I have abandoned my duties at the moment in order to see through a desire of mine.
What did you want with me?
To beat you up. To cast Megidol on the first turn and you don't know what the hell happened? I call myself before opening my mouth once more.
Order for my wish to be granted. I require a power much greater than what I have. But it is most likely not power used to fight. It is something else. I wish to understand what that is. The power of the wild card that changes bonds into strength. I have a feeling that the key lies there.
I don't really understand.
Put more bluntly, I wish for you to show me your potential.
The young man considers everything I said, but eventually sighs before responding.
I get it now.
You don't mind?
Would you back down if I said no? After what you said before, I don't think you'd back off that easy.
Touché.
I take a slight defensive
There is
stance.
no need to be lenient. I invite you to approach this battle as if you intend to kill me.
I didn't think I could win any other way.
Thank you. Well then, here goes. Your fate is in the cards.
So many question marks. Alright, buddy boy.
Final.
Opening my hand. Oh, impressive.
You're lucky?
My attack. It's time to be
End of the book?
judged. The lever.
Alright.
Venator. Here is some electricity. Pardon me. Impressive.
Through play!
Here is some electricity.
I did not mean to do that.
Here, your fate is in the car. Pardon me. What? Oh no. Would you mind waiting for a moment? Pardon me. Let's impress.
Oh.
My turn. Your fate is in the car. Pardon me. Oh. My turn. My persona. Pardon me. My turn. Here is the fire.
In the book.
It's time to be judged. The devil.
We're through
My
play.
attack. My attack. Here is it.
Nope.
Impressive.
Oh god.
Oh
That's fine.
no. Time impressive.
We don't need HP. Oh god. I died. I feel like we were doing really well and then we just fucking died instantly.
Final.
Your
Over here.
fate is in the car. Pardon me. My turn. Opening my deck. Pardon me.
take it.
Oh, impressive. My turn. Oh. My persona. Venator.
Over here. Bill.
Destined drop. Let there be light. My attack. Here are gusts of wind.
We're through play.
My attack. It's time
Oh.
to be judged.
Into the book.
Oh my. Here. Blood wonder.
Oh god.
Senator. My senator. Pardon me. Summoning.
Bill.
I'll show you,
Here
man.
is some electricity.
I got. I mean to do that. I don't know what that happens with the electricity thing.
Here are gusts of wind. Have a tornado. My turn. Here. My attack. My attack. Want to have some? It's time to be judged. The devil. How neat. Here is the fire. My turn.
Bro, would you just take some damage?
My attack. Oh no. Would you mind waiting for a moment? How neat.
Oh my god, seriously, just like a tiny bit of damage?
Please don't change things up. My turn.
Sorry, guys. She's so strong.
I see. You do indeed have great power.
Even while saying so, I am conflicted in my expression clouds. It's true that he was strong. He expertly wields the power of the wild card, but thinking about it, that isn't what I wanted to learn. The power of the wild card doesn't stem from just one's skill in a fight. His strength comes from his knowledge that he cannot avoid fighting to gain his desire. That strength happens to manifest as power in battle. But what I want to learn has little to do with combat. Will I ever get closer to the root of the matter with this method? But even if I find that I can't, I don't see another way. I have measured all types of strength, great and small, as one who governs power. I feel suddenly anxious.
Could it be that it's something I cannot understand?
Will I never be able to understand as one distant from the workings of human society? Has it been impossible from the start for my wish to be fulfilled? I then noticed the sound of footsteps.
Hey, are you okay? Oh shit, dude, what happened to you?
Yukon, are you all right?
Senpai, hang in there!
It seems that once the shadow who created this place was vanquished, the rules keeping everyone trapped were nullified. These must be the friends he formed bonds with. But
Did you do this? What did you do to Senpai?
one of them turns his fierce eyes on me.
You're so mean, miss! This is going too far!
Who are you anyway? You better explain yourself!
If you did this with malign intent, we won't let you leave here so easily.
They're angered seeing their friend hurt. That was a new experience for me. Their bond gave birth to anger, grew in animosity, and that fury is now directed towards me. But the young man stands up.
One more time.
He requests this even though he is badly wounded. A rematch would seem to have only one possible outcome.
What?
Please, that is enough. I've already witnessed your strength.
If this ends with my defeat, it doesn't count as me showing you my potential.
I mean, I guess he's got a point.
But
You shouldn't jump to conclusions. I thought I said this once today. What's important is that you don't give up after one try. You have to hang in there. My friends that I haven't seen in a while are all here. I can't just wave the white flag.
The moment the young man makes his declaration, a mysterious presence fills the area.
Etna.
The presence surges with power and creates a whirlpool of light around him. Within that light, the young man's determination and drive instantly rekindle.
What's that power?
Is it the wild card he holds? I then notice that the young man's friends are standing behind him, in support, all of them fixing their gaze on me as I stand perplexed. The bond that they share in their very core is echoed in their eyes. I suddenly feel as if I am confronting a fearsome giant.
I cannot believe I am seeing this.
I find myself starting to back off. My footsteps are unsteady as I go. A small dip in the floor behind me, no larger than a fingernail, throws me off balance. Surely I'm about to fall. But then unseen arms catch
Are
me.
you all right?
You're...
In contrast to my utter bewilderment, she wears a calm smile. When I turn back to the young man, the surge of power has already dissipated. I catch myself sighing in relief. When even I review my long memory, I can recall no occasion in which I have felt so overwhelmed before. It was a cool moment.
What was that just now? Do you happen to know what this power is?
I do not know the specifics, but
Something about anime friendship, or I guess also turns her gaze towards you and his
that
friends.
must be the power of their bonds. The power that stems from not being alone. I don't know why, but I feel like I understand when I'm watching them.
Yeah, it's also the power of not forcing your super boss fight to be a freaking 1v1.
The power of not being alone.
It's a power they all share. It isn't just, granted, the Elizabeth boss fight doesn't work if it's not a 1v1. You just get like fucking Meggy Doll on every turn, but did their strong bonds turn her determination not to lose into an instant recovery for him? I'm suddenly reminded of a conversation I once had with my sister. If something is impossible for them to accomplish alone, they will work together. His friends have even worked miracles at times. Those are the words I spoke to her.
What's important is that you don't give up.
It's a cliche to hear, but its wisdom is profound. I dismissed his potential judging by my standards. I almost gave up in the same way, thinking that I would be unable to understand. But he refused to allow that. His power proves there is not only one standard. It is truly the strength found in numbers.
So this is a bond.
I think about the guests I met who had formed bonds. I may have focused too much on those individuals. I never took much interest in who they bonded with, or how those bonds were
What I
forged.
should be studying isn't just him, but all of them together.
Oh no, we're gonna get freaking put in a cage or something?
Not the strength of a person, but of people. That may be the lesson.
He's gonna set up a zoo.
It seems I am starting to find hope.
I nod in
Today's
satisfaction.
festivities made for quite a wonderful Grand Prix. Considering that there have been some gains, I should be going, if you'll all excuse me.
I turn to make my exit.
Wait a sec, you haven't explained yourself yet! You haven't even told us your name!
It's Elizabeth!
Hey! Back here! What are you all happy for?
Who was she? Well, the odds are low that she was the mastermind behind this case.
Enough about her! Senpai's more important. We'll get you out of here in no time, so hang in there, Senpai. Teddy, get a stretcher ready.
Huh?
What are you standing around for? Move!
Guys, I'm not exactly critically injured, you know?
I think it's wonderful.
You're...
Seeing you surrounded by friends reminds me of a certain someone.
a certain someone?
There is no need to worry, everyone. His wounds are not serious. He is merely exhausted.
Oh, thank goodness. Wait, who are you?
Just keep ignoring the question, I guess, please. I could have left by a shorter route, but I returned to the school's front gate and looked back at the school. The faces of the people I parted with a moment ago are called to mind. Amongst them is that young man's face. I only faced him briefly, yet I recall him with surprising vividness.
I'm sure that he will continue to increase his strength of heart. It is a given with so many friends. I am a little bit envious.
Turn the pages of the compendium and draw a magic circle in the air.
Then, farewell.
I silently pass through it and leave as if melting into the scenery. I close my eyes and my thoughts drift to the past.
Elizabeth? Elizabeth, are you listening? You seem lost in thought like that frequently of late. Could this mean that you finally began to be troubled over things, like a normal person?
How scathing of you, as usual.
Believe me, sister, I am not as bad as you. What's the matter?
My dear sister, I want to tell you a fairy tale.
What's this about?
In our world, at the far reaches of the Sea of the Soul, there stands a large door. A soul which devoted itself to sealing that door slumbers there.
Why did it do such a thing?
That soul is risking itself to prevent those who have lost sight of life's brilliance from luring the world to self-destruction. It has become the guardian of the door, of the whole world, in fact.
That is a very sorrowful story.
My dear sister, do you think I can save that person?
I thought it was a fairy tale.
Well, I mean, kinda.
It may be impossible alone, but what if I joined forces to do it? This person's friends are capable of miracles at times.
This person you speak of, is it... I hope you're not planning to...
Oh, don't be silly, my dear sister. I told you, it was only a fairy tale.
To a certain degree, all of your stories are like fairy tales. I don't know what's troubling you, but be sure that you don't neglect your duties.
And she's gone. When I open my eyes again, I am in the Sea of the Soul, a world where countless bright lights shine like a nebula.
Velvet, oh velvet.
I begin singing a song, but now that I'm here again, I feel a hint of loneliness. I smile inwardly at myself. What happened today was very fruitful for me, though it came with a certain realization. I still don't have anyone in the world outside the Velvet Room that I wish to form a bond with. My lack of a hunger for such things may have prevented me from understanding.
No, that's not quite right either.
Lack of hunger? That's not it. In truth, it was within my power, but I was turning my gaze away from it. After all, I didn't begin this journey only to find the means to defeat that monster. I thought by defeating it, I could see him again.
To think I was unconsciously afraid of something and keeping my distance from it. That is quite a surprise.
The mechanical girl, the young man today, and my old guest all had their own desires and resolve from the start. I should make myself just as resolved if I am to achieve my desire as well. I will face it unblinkingly and accept it. I will admit that the loneliness in me arose from leaving my own residence. The sick feeling of loneliness will surely torment me and cause me grief forever. But if I harden my resolve to allow for embracing that pain, I'm certain that my yearning heart will yield great power. Bonds, the other half of being alive, along with death. Just as death gives life its shine, I'm sure loneliness will shed new light on the question of bonds. That is when I will obtain the power of bonds in the truest sense. Certainly, I will not achieve that miracle alone.
Though I cannot defeat that monster now, I may in time gain the power to truly erase it.
He must have felt that hunger as well. That's why he tried to protect his bonds with his life, leading him into the universe. I smiled to myself again. As one who leads others, I have only now gained enlightenment about the true meaning of bonds. And at that moment, single card drifts down before my eyes.
Oh,
Hovering before me like a butterfly, fluttering its wings is the card of the Fool. I like the butterfly reference. It bursts into pearls of light on my hand.
to think the day would come where I would behold my own arcana and not that of a visitor's.
The Fool. It represents freedom, purity, possibility, and
And the beginning of a journey. It may be that my journey has finally truly begun. The Fool, Well, I am aware that I still do foolish things.
give a wry smile and look up. My gaze is fixed on what lies ahead. It's an enormous door that looms like a small mountain in the center of the void.
Please wait for me. One day I shall surely see my wish come true.
I briskly turn on my heel away from the door. My walk begins.
Velvet, oh velvet.
My bright song will no longer have mournful undertones.
My master has a large nose.
I have yet to determine a sure path. There's no assurance that my wish will come true. And whether I will truly make some sort of connection with those I encounter today isn't certain either. But I have hope now. And that is what lets me go on. This time I can head towards the future I desire without losing my way. That was just kind of short then. I mean, it's good. I don't know. I kind of expected it to be a bit longer, though. So that's all of them, and we still have like the. Okay, it did put us at 99%. Oh god, that's gonna bug the hell out of me. We're also kind of like a weird time because we're only at 37 minutes, which isn't really enough time to start anything else. So we might just have a short video for today. We can at least like try and, I don't know, my memories on like a lot of the early starts of the storylines are kind of vague. Really only the cliffhangers and onwards are firm in my mind. Labrys, definitely the best. Like, it's not even close. Then second best. That's hard. I'm trying to think. So let's try and go through like the starts of each of them to kind of refresh my memory. Like Use is like very mid, I would say. It's like doesn't have anything really wrong with it, but it's also not like a strong standout. You know, you have like the whole start with him on the train and come into Inaba, and like these all four kind of share stuff. Yosuke's, it's on the like the upper end. I'm really trying because and Chie has the thing about, you know, wanting to be the police officer and the aptitude and the test and everything. Yukiko's was kind of like one of the weaker ones at the start from what I remember. I did like Kanji's overall. I don't know. I'm really having a hard time coming up with like actual like rankings though. I did like Aigus's. Trying to remember. Aigus had that really long starting sequence, which was kind of cool with the whole like plane hijacking. Honestly, it might be Aigus's second. Maybe Aigus or now. I mean, I have like a few issues with Naoto's, but it was overall really good. So maybe like just kind of roughly, let's say Labrys, Aigus, Naoto, Yosuke, Kanji, Akihiko, Teddy, Chie, Mitsuru, Yukiko. Yeah, let's say that. I probably like Yukiko's the least. I don't know, just like it didn't do very much. Or like she didn't have, because I mean a lot of them, you know, I guess the internal like
struggle that's represented there wasn't as like there wasn't as much to it. Granted, Teddy's is also a little weak in that regard, but Teddy gets bonus points because it's just like fucking wacky. Like it's meant to be a bit more joking, kind of the same way with Elizabeth's. Oh, did I put I don't know where Elizabeth would be. It's definitely on the upper end. Maybe like somewhere around Naoto and Aigis. Or Yosuke. I think I like Yosuke's more though. Maybe like Labras, Aigis. Honestly, oh god. Maybe Yosuke third, then Naoto, then Elizabeth, then Kanji, then Akihiko, then Shie, then Mitsuru, and I don't know. Main characters in there somewhere. I think I forgot Teddy again. But yeah, you get the idea. So alright, I guess next time we'll move on to episode whatever. I might also just like skim through the dialogue so that this becomes red, because it's going to annoy the hell out of me, it being at 99% like that. But yeah, we'll call it here, and next time we'll move onward. Now that we're done with all the character storylines, I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part, and bye guys.